Hey everyone, welcome back to C2 Chatter. This is Varnell and today I got a big one. So I've been hearing a lot from the Pokemon community lately, and it seems like the general feeling that Pokemon isn't growing as fast as we'll like. With Pokemon Legends ZA, there's been like a ton of talk, high expectations, very mixed reviews that basically Game Freak can do a lot better than what they've been doing. Well, today we're diving into fantasy. Let's imagine what a modern cutting-edge Pokemon game could truly look like. This might be a long ride, so strap yourselves in and remember this is all fantasy. If you don't like something, drop in this video, leave a comment below saying what you would like, or maybe just add any ideas to my thoughts. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more C2 Chatter. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. First up is the theme. We all know the classic slogan, gotta catch 'em all. But here's my question. What if Pokemon focused more on what it really means to be a trainer? What if earning a badge was actually an achievement, something that shows you truly trained and bonded with your Pokemon? That's what this game would be about. Feeling like a real trainer in a living, evolving Pokemon world. So, the training system. You'll still have your standard 1v1, 2v2 battles to gain experience, but now Pokemon would have 5 new training stats that make them grow beyond the level and numbers. One of the stats would be like listening. This measures how fast your Pokemon responds to your commands. You could actually call out for them to dodge, and depending on their speed and listening stat, they might avoid the attacks like Thunder or Razor Leaf or even Ice Beam. You can raise this particular stat through direct training, spending time together, and practice sessions, not just battle, which I'll get into that a little bit later when I mean by practice settings. So the second stat would be resistance. Remember that classic anime episode where a trainer made his Sandshrew train underwater to overcome his weakness of water? That concept returns here. Electric types could meditate under a waterfall, taking light damage, but building up a 25% resistance to, again, their weakness, which is water. Slow Pokemon could train with weights to get faster, but would need more food to stay healthy. And in the midst of battle, of course, they will be a lot more slower than usual. There'll even be mini games that help Pokemon work through their specific weaknesses. And of course, you can't buff every single weakness. As you train certain weaknesses, the other weaknesses that you have trained before will get weaker. It'll kind of balance it out throughout your training. This helps keep like a balance or power. So the third stat would be friendship. This isn't just affection, it's emotional power. When your Pokemon HP hits 0, your bond could give them the will to stand back up again one more time per battle. But only 3 of the Pokemon on your team can have this perk. And there's a small 10% chance they might be too hurt to continue. So each Pokemon would be like kind of vary. So instead of like having the will to get back up again, maybe when they're in the red, they'll get 25% stronger and be able to do more damage. But like I said, each Pokemon's reaction depends on how close you are to them, just like real friendships in the anime. So special perks, which is number 4. In the traditional games, you can only have up to 4 slots for their moveset. I always thought a Charizard that couldn't fly or shoot flames because he didn't have enough space in his moveset was a little silly to me. So as you level up, you can unlock 2 extra slots that has only select moves that particular Pokemon can use, which makes 6 moves total. So for example, you have a Pidgey that they will have just a standard 4 slots, and then once they reach a certain level and they evolve to like Pidgeotto, it will unlock a special moveset. So it will unlock something like Wing Attack, which can later be evolved into Steel Wing. And then once they even reach to a higher level and evolve to Pidgeot, then it can later unlock the 6th slot, which is the second special move, would be something like Fly, which could be upgraded to like Brave Bird or even acrobatics. Every Pokemon species would have its own unique perk path, creating 6 total moves per Pokemon and a deeper connection to their growth. So this is number 5, which is one of my favorite stats. This is the trainer stat. Now you level up as a trainer, winning battles and training your Pokemon increases this particular stat, and which helps you train Pokemon even faster. You can earn more XP to level up like younger Pokemon a lot quicker and unlock new perks. So once you've proven yourself with enough badges, wins, and experience, you can unlock the ultimate feature. You can unlock your own gym. Imagine running your gym where you pay NPCs, trainers to train your Pokemon while you're away. And then other trainers can challenge your gym online for money or for Pokemon. You can customize your gym's theme, design, and difficulty because the NPCs are battling with the Pokemon that you've trained until they get to the gym leader, which is yourself, which you can also customize your own badge. You can even see your gyms like ranking on a global map of player gyms. The stats was fun, but now we're starting to really get into the meat and potatoes. This is survival and exploration. This Pokemon open world game will finally feel alive. You'll have to manage survival mechanics, feeding your Pokemon, crafting different items, setting up camps, and sending Pokemon out to scavenge materials. Your trainer level determines how rare and frequent the items are that your Pokemon can go out there and find on their own, and how safe those missions are. So yes, your Pokemon can get injured and faint while it's out there on a mission trying to retrieve different items, which then you will have to go out there to actually go find that Pokemon by using like a Poke Finder. Also, you'll need to have the right Pokemon in gear to dive underwater to explore even more, climb icy peaks, or fly across dangerous regions. Like I said, this world is going to be huge. There wouldn't be a Pokemon Center on every corner anymore. Instead, you'll set up tents to heal your team, but these will only restore like a portion of the HP and PP, which of course how many times you use a move. So strategy and preparation are crucial in this game. Gym leaders wouldn't just wait for you in buildings either. One could be on a frozen mountain, another inside like a volcano, another in a high crime city, forcing you and your Pokemon to like overcome different elements and meet different foes while you're trying to actually get to the gym leader. Like I said, when you get these badges, it's literally like a medal of honor. So we're gonna move on to the next segment, items and crafting. Held items can become high stakes. So in the regular Pokemon games, you can hold an item to boost like 20% electricity moves. But in this game, you could craft the items that boost your Pokemon's resistance, but with like trade-offs. So for example, an item might make your Pokemon stronger against rock type moves, but reduces their speed. Another might boost electric attacks, but make your Pokemon weaker to water. It's all about finding the perfect balance between offense and defense. So the possibilities of these different hold items with that particular Pokemon is very vast. Now we're getting into the cutting edge technology, AI, when it comes to trainers and wild Pokemon. So trainers in this world are just as smart as you. They train their Pokemon using the same systems, craft their own items, and adjust strategies dynamically. Skipping a trainer could mean missing out on like blueprints for crafting rare gear, or training routines that you to boost your Pokemon stats, or special techniques that you can train your Pokemon for like different abilities. So battling random trainers isn't just about leveling up. It's about also gaining different items and stuff like that throughout the world to help you on your journey. And yes, you can rematch them later. So maybe like after 5 hours or so in real time, they might have like new Pokemon, new items, or entirely new strategies to take you down specifically. And of course, their Pokemon are leveled up. Now, on the other hand, wild Pokemon will have real instincts. So herds of like Tauros could stampede if they're threatened. 10 to 20 of the Tauros just like walking around eating or drinking water. And of course, if they spot you or something else happens, they can stampede, and that can really hurt you and your Pokemon. So even Manahina packs could stalk you at night. Hopefully I pronounced the name right. Or a scared Eevee could be hiding somewhere and you have to track them down or use certain foods to lure them out and have an actual like chance to catch them. Some Pokemon you might even see battling, shifting the ecosystem in real time. So next thing you know, you look up in the sky and a Charizard and a Pidgeot is like battling and creating like different like hurricanes or whatever the case may be, which you might not even be ready enough to actually battle them because they might be too much over your level. So be careful. So moving on to the world design and the environment. This world needs to be massive and breathtaking. Think Horizon Zero Dawn meets Ghost of Tsushima, like when it comes to graphics. Storms, poison swamps, raging volcanoes, these aren't just backgrounds, they're gameplay. You will have to like prepare to actually get through these different areas as a trainer. So for example, surfing in a storm could slowly drain your Pokemon's health. Trees can even catch fire mid-battle and can injure your Pokemon if they touch it. If you battle on the sea, you could poison a certain area of the seed to damage your opponent. Fruits that your Pokemon is holding could even get poisoned if struck by toxic attacks. And if they eat it, they could get injured or poison your Pokemon during battle. Each environment would have environmental effects that give certain Pokemon natural advantages. And yes, this would be the kind of game where legendary Pokemon can shape the world around them. Like how Lugia from the Pokemon movie 2000 did the ocean as it went on a rage. And yes, I know this movie is very old. Also, I want the game to have adaptive ecosystems and dynamic weather, so the Pokemon world would even evolve without you. If a trainer overcatches a species, it becomes rare or migrates to another area. So seasons and like lunar cycles affect spawns. Some Pokemon only appear under like full moons or meteor showers. Electric types thrive in the thunderstorms, while like fire types struggle. Every time you log in, the world could feel slightly different. All right, so let's move to genetic traits and the personality system. Forget simple IVs. Pokemon have genetic traits that affect their abilities and behavior. A bold Charmander might attack faster and tire quickly, while a timid one dodges better. Over time, your training style could actually shape their personalities. I know we're moving pretty fast, but let's go ahead and boom past that because again, it's a lot to get through. So now let's talk about trainer morality and your reputation in the game. So yes, your choices matter. Help injured Pokemon gain like a guardian status. Overtrain or exploit Pokemon you become like infamous. Your reputation actually affects how like NPCs and how your Pokemon treat you. You might even unlock moral storylines, like even joining Team Rocket, lead a league of like champions, or rebuild the Pokemon world in your image. Of course, this is kind of like more different between like single player and multiplayer. Like I said, this is like cutting edge technology. This game would be even VR compatible. You know, like a VR, you could look up and see a Charizard like flying over your head, see the water around you as you dive into the ocean, or even travel deep into a cave. You can even spectate other trainers that's on your friends list while they're doing battle. So another feature of the game, Pokemon will have emotional intelligence. So Pokemon that have like emotions that affect how they battle, if they like lose often, they might get like discouraged. If they watch a teammate faint, they might even panic or even get into a rage that can boost or decline stats. So your team doesn't just grow, it feels like alive. So another feature would be move customization. Moves aren't just static anymore. You can mod them, change like Thunderbolt into like Chain Thunderbolt, where like it does like less damage, but it hits like multiple foes. Evolve like even Flamethrower into like a short range flame burst that ignites terrain and burns stuff around them, that actually like burn fruit or even damage items that you have to repair. Every player can craft a unique moveset that fits their battle style. So let's talk about the storytelling and the choice. Imagine Pokemon with a story depth like Mass Effect or The Witcher. Save a city and it thrives and you can unlock new areas, or ignore it and it falls, changing the map and story permanently. Your ending depends on your actions. You become a champion, a professor, a villain, or even a legend. So, and then also when it comes to the global connection, online events could sync to the real world. Real world weather affects your in-game environment in single player mode. Global missions where all players unite against major threats like Team Rocket, even facing against legendaries, which is like a time-sensitive event. This creates a living global Pokemon world that evolves through community effort. All right, so let's talk about cosmetics and downloadable content. You can customize your character and of course even design your own gym, but how about how your Pokemon enters the battle? Like how a Genghis-Gar will like pour out as a shadow from a Pokeball as you summon it. That'd be so dope. Or if you summon like a Lapras, when the Pokeball opens up, like a wave of water will come bursting out the Pokeball and your Lapras would of course appear. Of course, this stuff you can buy as like downloadable content, and that of course would give your Pokemon like a special entrance. The game can also add new areas, Pokemon moves that can be purchased through like packs and stuff like that. This will give us a chance to support them even further past the original price tag. And yes, you can grind for like added moves, so it can't be like paid to win or something like that. And also, let's talk about multiplayer for 1 second. You can team up with one friend on your journey to become a Pokemon Master. Together you can take on the world in a duo battles, which add a whole new level of challenge and strategy. So of course, all these different NPCs will become a lot stronger to put up with both of you guys. Partner coordination, move timing, and teamwork will matter more than ever before, because these fights are built to test your synergy and skill. Even when you're with your partner or by yourself battling, you can also combine different moves. Alright, I know you guys have been waiting for this one. Let's talk about the battle system. The battle system in this game would be fully real time. That's right, no more waiting for turns. Which I know a lot of you guys like, but hear me out. Every move has its own speed and recovery time with a 3-bar system. So like quick attack takes like a half a bar, a normal attack like Ember takes like 1 full bar, and a flamethrower would take like 2 bars. A hyper beam would take like 3 full bars, and these can recover over time, and depending on how you have your Pokemon, these different bars can recover, of course, over time. And of course, they will have a dodge button as well that actually takes up some of the bars as well. So yes, you cannot spam dodge. And if you use up all your bars, then of course your Pokemon will take a little bit more time to recover for their next attack. So timing, reflexes are key while managing your different bars. If you manage to dodge a big attack like Hyper Beam or Solar Beam, while the other Pokemon is still recharging, you can get in close and land in 1 or 2 hits before they can recover. You'll also be able to move freely with your Pokemon during battle. It's not just turn-based positioning anymore, of course, but you can run, roll, dash, and flank. Your Pokemon will actually make physical contact with full animation for every impact, dodge, and reaction. Even combining some moves like Fly combined with Seismic Toss could be devastating. The trainer isn't just standing by either. You'll be calling out moves in real time using voice commands or button prompts, truly feeling like a battle strategist commanding your team in the heat of the moment. So additional features. There's so much more. Of course, finally adding voice acting to Pokemon. The game will feature at least like the first 5 generations of Pokemon, with plans to expand later through updates. Mega Evolutions return, but with a twist. Instead of being like a temporary power-up, they would depend on your Pokemon's bond and training level, unlocking new strategies and exclusive animations. So breeding might not be a part of this system. Instead, your focus is on training and shaping your Pokemon stats through real experience and practice. However, as you improve certain stats, others might rest over time. So, of course, like I said, it's a balancing system. You can't have the most fastest Pokemon and the strongest Pokemon. Again, if you are focusing on one stat, another stat might deplenish, forcing you to keep your team balanced and well-rounded. Of course, you can specialize in one stat, which is completely fine. All this would come together in a truly next generation experience, a game I'll call like Pokemon Legends Masters, or maybe Pokemon Legends Trainers. So this is my final thoughts. Look, Pokemon is known for putting like 10 or 20 million dollars into a game and getting billions back, but imagine if they did a lot more than that. They can really redefine gaming for a new generation. Think about how Final Fantasy VII redefined the PlayStation 1 era, or how Pokemon Red and Blue created an entire culture. Pokemon is like a sleeping giant, and the world, both new fans and old fans like myself, is still waiting for it to wake up and create the dream we've all been imagining. So tell me, what would be your ultimate Pokemon game? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video and like to see more ideas like this, let me know in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe for more C2 chatter. Who knows, maybe one day this idea will get to the right hands, so definitely share. Y'all take it easy. This is Varnell. Peace.